Welcome back, besties. Oh, let me get that down. I forgot to take that off. Sub goals are gone. We had a bit of a flop of a subathon today. We had 2 subscriptions. It only lasted like 3 hours and 20 minutes. But I am here for news for people that have a job. I am Jamie Delphine coming to you live from Los Angeles, Monday, where the world did not, in fact, take the weekend off. Now, before we get into it, we have to do the thing. May our bitrate and our frames never drop, and may the cold, unfeeling data of the internet that governs our digital reach look upon us with favor. May our thumbnails be clicked, may our titles be searched, and may the engagement metrics flow like a river to the sea. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. I appreciate you, crazy dad. That puts you at 111 gifted subs for the channel. Thank you so much. Your unwavering support is ridiculous, and I cannot thank you enough. I absolutely appreciate you and your absolutely awesome support. So everyone repeat after me. All praise the node. We'll go ahead and kick this thing off. Grab your emotional support beverage. Here's what happened while you were having a weekend, or at least trying to. 73,000 people are currently sitting in ICE custody. That is the highest number ever recorded in this agency's history. 70% of them have no criminal record at all. And just let that sit for a second. ICE arrested more than 2,000 people a day for 5 days straight at the start of this month. And over 10,000 people between one Friday and the following Tuesday. It was a very dense week. Averaged out, that is more than 1,400 arrests a day for all of July. And the highest daily pace of this entire administration. And July is on track to be the single biggest arrest month of the second Trump term. So total in custody right now, 73,000 people. An 84% jump since January of 2025. And again, over 70% of the people sitting in custody in those detention beds have no criminal record whatsoever. So 95% have never been convicted of a violent crime. And that is not a hunt for dangerous criminals. Like, this is just volume. They are trying to hit quotas. Now, where are they finding these people? This is my angle. This is why I'm talking about this. They're talking about this. Blah, blah. I am talking about this because they're finding these people in workplaces, farms, university campuses, private homes, random traffic stops. And the administration rescinded the old bipartisan policy that used to keep raids out of schools, hospitals, and churches. That policy existed because everyone across party lines used to agree those were places that should be able to, like, people should be able to use them without fear. Not anymore. So in Gallatin County, Montana, community organizers estimate about 100 people were detained in a single sweep. And then in Bloomington, Normal, Illinois, 15 more. And here's the class angle. Like, this is what I'm leading to. It's not subtle once you see it. Chat, workplace raids do not just remove individual people. They terrorize workforces into silence. A farm crew that watched ICE take 3 co-workers is not filing a wage complaint. And a restaurant kitchen that lost its line cook to a traffic stop is not unionizing this quarter. And fear is a management tool. And right now it's being deployed at the largest scale in this agency's history on a population that overwhelmingly has no criminal record to justify it. So that's a heavy one. Heavy one to start with. We've got 73,000 people in ICE custody. That's the highest ever recorded. We've got 84% up from January. That's last year, January 2025. And over 70% have no criminal record. This is a war on working people. So I don't know what changed. Like, we used to say, like, we're a country that had like values. Like, we left like churches alone. Churches were out of bounds. Churches, like, at least when I was a kid, you would run into a church to like get away from like people chasing you. That was the old movie trope. Crazy Dad, do you remember that? Do you remember that in movies when like murderers would be chasing you and you'd run into a church because you were safe from murderers in a church? So nobody, regardless of party, thinks I should be showing up at a hospital. Yeah, you remember it in Highlander. Like they literally did that shit. That was what was like off like limits. It was out of bounds. Churches and, hospitals. So it's just we're new era. All right, next one. Corporate profits just hit an all-time high. Churches tended to be a safe space. Yeah, they were like off limits. They were out of bounds. That was the thing. Anyway, corporate profits just hit an all-time high. It's the highest share of the economy since the early 1950s. So before you get excited, not that my chat would. No, that number does not have your name on it. Corporate profits in the first quarter of this year came in at 4.2. I'm sorry, let me say this correct. $4.42 trillion. Corporate profits in the first quarter of this year came at $4.42 trillion. And annualized up from $4.35 trillion the quarter before. Measured against the whole economy, that is 12.2% of U.S. gross domestic income going in like to corporate profit. That's a big chunk. 12.2% straight to profit. And so that's the highest share since the early 1950s. And some of that is the AI boom. A lot of it is what these companies politely call improved business efficiency. And that's a term I want you to understand. That is the nicer way of saying layoffs. That's the same layoffs we've been tracking all year on, Salesforce, Cloudflare, Coinbase, Cisco, and Meta. And a ton of video game companies. Meanwhile, wage growth is not keeping pace with any of this. So inflation's still eating into the basics. That's grocery, gas, the stuff you cannot opt out of buying. So the actual scoreboard right now reads corporate profits, highest share of the economy in 70 years. Regular wages, still playing catch up to prices. And those two facts are happening in the same economy at the same time to the same people. And only one side is throwing a party about it. So what do you think, chat? Corporate profits sitting at 12.2% of U.S. gross domestic income. That is the income of the country. And, $4.42 trillion in annualized profits. I have to be careful because I'm not used to reading numbers this high. This is a practice in my math reading skills. So again, we had 4.35 trillion. Now it's 4.2, like 4.42. Can you visualize these numbers? Do you see these? When I say these numbers, do you see numbers or you just hear really big number? Jules, what's the feedback coming from you? You usually have a pretty grounded take. This is all bad. This is bad. It's bad news bears. To use an old joke. I just hear I'm rich, bitch. That's real. That's true. And honestly, wage growth is still lagging profits. Like, you know what they say? The whole let the rich get rich, they create jobs. When they make money, they pay people. Like that means that like if the profits are going up, then the wages should go up, right? And I mean, everybody feels the prices of groceries going up. Not everybody gets a cut of this 70-year record profit. Record. No, I'm not getting a cut of that pie. Are you getting a cut of that pie, Crazy Dad? All right, moving on quick. Probably going to be a short one today. Um, so Pico, PECO, that's the Philadelphia Electric Company for the uninitiated. They have been running the lights in Philadelphia for 145 years. In all 145 of those years, its workers have never once gone on strike until this month. And it took them 2 days to win. 1,600 unionized Pico workers walked off the job just after midnight on the 4th of July in the middle of a heat wave at a power utility, which is about the least convenient possible moment to withhold your labor and also exactly why it worked. Negotiations had collapsed over retirement benefits, wages, and healthcare by just before midnight on July 6th. 48 hours later, they had a tentative agreement including real gains on pensions. 48 hours. It took Pico 145 years to have its first strike and 48 hours for that strike to win concessions. And that's not a coincidence. That is what actual leverage looks like when you find it. Because a utility cannot function without its linemen, and everybody involved knew it. And this is also not the only labor action running right now. Public defenders in multiple cities are pushing strike votes over surveillance apps that track their clock ins and probationary periods that let management fire new hires for any reason. In different industry, same instinct. So workers figuring out where the leverage actually sits and pulling it. So, what do we think, chat? 1,600 Pico workers, first strike in the company's 145-year history. They walked out on July 4th in the middle of a heat wave. That's how it should be, but most of us know better. Generally, I sometimes do, but it's money I can't touch until I retire. Yeah. I mean, the profits that are being seen at the top, the bonuses and such, they're not going down to the wage workers though. That's definitely not happening. But if you get 1,600 people to just walk off the job, how do you think that would affect your retirement account? So yeah, whatever you think about unions in the abstract, You know, everybody wants their lights to stay on. Everybody thinks that the people that keep them on deserve a pension. Yeah, it sucks they had to do that to get it, but that's leverage. That's a different kind of politics than we employ here usually. So, they got the goods. Strikes get the goods. Um, so quick update on a race that we've been tracking. APAC has now spent almost $30 million to stop Abdul El Sayed from winning the Michigan Senate primary. And that number keeps climbing. So let's climb with it. The Michigan primary in the Democratic Senate, which is the Michigan Democratic Senate primary, that is August 4th. And El Sayed against Haley Stevens. And that's to replace the retiring Senator Gary Peters. Now, why am I talking about Michigan? Well, on that number that are actually his, El Sayed is winning. $4.57 million raised last quarter. His best quarter yet. More than double what Stevens brought in. And he's sitting on more cash on hand than she is too. That's 3.4 million to her 2.7 million. And he's the only candidate that's not taking corporate money. And he's got over 10,000 volunteers on the ground. And none of that matters against what happened next, because APAC and its affiliate groups have spent close to $30 million backing Stevens. And that's the single largest, that this Senate primary is absolutely one of the largest Senate primary funding events in the United States. So the single largest investment that organization has ever made in one race. Just this is record breaking. And their super PAC has reserved about $19 million in TV time for the final 5 weeks before the primary. And once you count all outside money, Stevens has roughly a 12-1 spending advantage. And here's the part that should make you angry, not just informed. Those ads never mention Israel once. They're about manufacturing jobs, and they feature Barack Obama, who has not endorsed anyone in the race. So the buy is built so a Michigan voter watching it has no idea a pro-Israel lobbying group wrote the check. And we already know from last week's News for People with a Job that the people that are being campaigned to they were polled and were found resoundingly to be turned off by AIPAC money. So El Sayed has made this the center of his campaign, calling Israel's campaign in Gaza a genocide and arguing directly that AIPAC money is choosing the primary for voters instead of letting them choose it for themselves. Stevens has called herself a proud pro-Israel Democrat, and per Fortune, the magazine, that gave an 800-word answer about basically anything else when asked directly about the $30 billion. So this is money in politics. It is the most literal, measurable form, laundered through an ad buy that hides what it's actually funding using Obama. So there it is. The big, grossest elephant in the room. So El Sayed El Sayed, I think I'm saying El Sayed wrong. It's El Sayed. El Sayed outraised Stevens nearly 2-1 and leads on cash on hand. That is true. But it's dwarfed by outside spending. What do you think, chat? Is this fair? Is this democracy? This is the US democracy in action. Pretty crazy, isn't it? I think it's nuts because APAC and its affiliates, it's nearly $30 million. And somebody updated me on this story in my comments section on Facebook. So thank you so much for whoever did that. But this is the single biggest race spend in APAC's history. Yeah, it's the American way, unfortunately. But again, the ads never mention Israel, which is what they raise money for, is Israel political issues. And they're manufacturing consent, like using an unauthorized Obama message. It's he's giving a cameo that he never intended to give. It's crazy that it becomes a 12-1 overall spending advantage once you count the outside money. But he's outraised her if you don't. So it's just honestly crazy. But whatever you think about Israel policy, everyone should be uncomfortable with $30 million being used to hide what it's actually buying. It doesn't sound good. And it ethically is gross. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit the quick hits before we wrap. Let me go ahead and get this lightning round in. This is for my Twitch clip. So let me get this down. Let me see if I can get this in. Quick hits before we wrap. Another American service member was killed in Iraq today as the strikes on Iran enter their second week. That makes at least 3 U.S. service members dead since Friday alone. Watch that number. It is moving fast and it is not moving down. And a judge just temporarily paused the Paramount Warner Brothers merger after 12 state attorneys general asked for a restraining order. Worth watching if you like your media landscape to have more than 4 owners. All right. Here, besties, this is what we've covered. By the way, Twitch clip this. Twitch clip it. I don't know if that's working anymore. I was on like a beta and I think they took it away. I'm gonna clip that part myself anyway. All right, besties. Here's what we covered tonight. 1 minute recap. ICE detentions just hit an all-time high. 73,000 people are in custody, most with no criminal record, and raids are now happening in schools, hospitals, and churches. Corporate profits hit the highest share of the economy since the 1950s, while wages are still catching up to prices. 1,600 PICO workers in Philadelphia, that's the Philadelphia Electric Company, struck for the first time in the company's 145-year history and won concessions in only 48 hours. It's APAC spending against Abdul El Sayed in Michigan's primary just climbed to nearly $30 million. And at least 3 more American service members have died in the Iran war since Friday. That's the week. You are caught up. You have a job to get back to, so you're welcome. And if you want to go deeper, the sources are always in the Discord. Newsletter goes out this week. The link will be in the bio. Hit the follow, share the stream, tell a coworker. Or hit the follow, share the stream, tell a coworker. Cool. I'll try to clip that and cut out the goofs. Honestly, chat, when I say chat, I'm basically just talking to you, crazy dad. I think I hit the end of the road. Gonna be real. Gonna be really, really real. So hear me when I say this. I need to find a job. And I was trying to get the ad money back. I was trying to create enough content. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I'll clip it. I'll be. By the way, your clips do way better than anything that I do with the clip bot or the Twitch clipper. Anytime you want to make clips, please. I don't know if you've seen the views on your clips. You've had some really good clips off this channel. All right. Real talk, and I'm going to be very candid here. Yeah, seriously. If you haven't seen it, in my clips metrics, your clips are like the most out of like 4 years of clips. So today is my birthday. Today is the channel's birthday from when I was an affiliate. Now, I had made a promise to myself that coming up on the 4 year anniversary, I was trying to take this seriously. I built a whole studio. I spent quite a bit of money building the studio, installing this desk and renting this space. Crazy Dad, thank you so much. Treasure Train, thank you. 5 gifted subs. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, I really appreciate you. That's going to get me a little closer to the graphics card that I was hoping to get to. $600 gap though, so it's crazy to have expected that given my regular sub history. So I wasn't really expecting it, but this is a moment where I have to be honest. I'm not making enough money streaming. I'm going to have to find a job. So that being said, I'm in a weird predicament because what I enjoy streaming, the political content, it gets a lot of views. It gets a lot of views from clips. And if I'm being honest, the news for people with the job streams on average have a higher view count. They do. The news for people with a job have a higher view count. It's been good. Like I used to get a little bit of like I could get up to like 3, maybe 5 viewers average. And that I mean, and I'm not saying like that's the make or break it for like whether I'm streaming. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Here's the thing. So every streamer's instinct is to just stream more and go more. And I did that. And I did that for a while. Years 1, years 2. I did a lot of 12-hour streams, 16-hour streams. I've done a lot of really long streams, Monday through Friday, trying to stream every day, 5 p.m., trying to get in to clock some stream hours. What helps the stream grow more than anything is clips. Like clips bring people from outside the channel to inside the channel. I love Twitch. I love Twitch as a platform. It's a professional platform. It's very robust. It's a good stream quality. But the one thing that I have to say is that Twitch is not very good at helping people find the channel. And it's sad because I love Twitch. And this is I very obviously dedicated myself to this platform. I really want to make it as a Twitch streamer. Like, and when I say make it, like just have a following. Like I just want to like have a community, chill with y'all, chat. And we've got a core group. I've had a few eras of core groups, but I have a really solid core group. And I feel like I'm like in an era where like I'll be streaming until I'm like old and ancient. And I'll probably still have most of y'all in here. What is going on? I have like bread from um lunch or something. I had like seeds. It's like a seed bread. Um so all that being said, um there's a lot of workshops I've done, and Twitch does like really cool like trainings essentially where they'll bring in like affiliate or not affiliate partnered streamers who are like huge that have like giant viewerships to like teach the guilds, and it's really chill to like learn kind of like what Streamer University is getting. We get actually a much more professional version of that. It's a long term, you're in the guild like forever as long as you follow the rules, And once you're in the guild, you get access to like streamer U shit. And I've done a lot of it, like workshops, classes. I wonder if you should clock out parts, then have them go to Twitch for the deep dives. And that's kind of what we're doing in reverse. Well, I guess not in reverse. Well, here's the crazy thing. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't know if you've popped in or if you checked in on the clock app, especially this last Friday. I don't know if you saw. I'm doing pretty good over there. The viewership is really high, and that format, that debate format, is doing really well. And I really think awesome treasure train success. Let's go. Let's see if what we unlocked. That's a server. That's a serve. Ooh, that's hot. I like that. I like the cat. The catwalk cat. Um that being said, here's the thing. I also want to chill some stream hours where I said that backwards. I also want to stream some chill hours. Chill hours where I'm just like hanging out. It's just like me and chat. Also, I need to stream less when I'm smoking. Like today's news stream, I don't know if you could tell, I smoked and I'm a little low energy. So that might have something to do with the viewership. The viewership didn't get as high as normal. When I don't smoke, I have better viewership. And I've been trying to smoke less. Just being candid, being real. Now, that all that is to say, my debate content is now some of my most watched content. You listen to the part where I talked to the 18-year-old. Yeah, that was funny. And they ran scared. And so I won't even like clip that because they were like a kid. They didn't know anything. They just knew rhetoric. And that's kind of what it comes down to is they stayed and they listened. And I saw they were listening. And so I'm willing to do those. I'll debunk those claims and argue those things and debate these things because I feel like I need to start doing the news just record it. I'm not going to do it live anymore. I don't think news for people with a job is a stream. I don't think it's a Twitch stream. I think news for people with a job is going to be just, I'm going to record it and post it. I think that's the future of news for people with a job. And debate Fridays. I don't know what to do with Twitch. I have a lot of support here. I've built community here. I don't want to let y'all down. I've been streaming for 4 years and I finally cracked 1,000 followers and I've got to like 1080 and I don't know. I got up to, I was at 1082 today and now I'm back down to 1080. I don't know. I don't know, chat. I don't know. So I got to figure something out, but I really, really, really need to find a job. And the subathon was a flop. It was a flop. Well, I mean, including your subs, I'll include the subs from this stream as well. 6 subs, 2 subs. That's 8 subs. And my goal was like 25. So I'm not making content that people want to support. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to make on Twitch. I don't know what content to make on Twitch that people will support. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I try to do like a fun, spunky news show. It was getting to be pretty regular, but like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's not paying my bills. To do this live. Do I have makeup? Do I have makeup? Oh, my mascara's all over the place. Shit. That looks terrible. Oh no! Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't have an answer right now. I don't have an answer right now, and I'm probably not going to figure it out on stream. But I don't know. I think I need to take a break from streaming for a little bit. I know it's crazy to do on the day of a subathon to announce this and with subscribers, but I think I need to take a break from streaming for a bit. I need to find a job. It's a lot of work to keep this going, and unfortunately, it's just not doing much anymore. And last year I was doing great. We had the Zinni sponsorship. Zinni's great. I love Zinni. Zinni showed me a lot of support. They continue to show me a lot of support, but those affiliate payments aren't they're not coming in anymore. Do it need to do its best for me. My well being is the most important. I believe if I cut back on streaming, I should, but I'll be here when I get back. Yeah, and I still I don't know. I don't know what the ultimate decision will be. Um News for people with a job is got it's probably going to go recorded. It doesn't make sense to keep streaming it live. Um it gets a lot of views, but mostly is clips. The debate content is huge. And so I'm definitely going to lean in, and I need to, because that's it. I have never gotten more views on any kind of content that I've done until I did debate content. And I didn't realize how good I am at talking to these Trumpers and these liberals because I speak their language. I grew up out there. Like, that's easy for me to jaw with some farmer for 2 hours, listen to his bullshit, acknowledge he's got some valid points, but then explain to him what matters, why it matters, because he's simply misinformed, usually. Definitely think it through, but keep up with the debates. Yeah, I plan to. The debates are it's hitting. Like people want to see the debates. I've had I've had like 100 people watching live on the Clock app, without any kind of like event or raid train or assistance from other viewers or anything. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Not to drop a heavy bomb. Today is my birthday. Um, and the subathon, it was a flop. It was a flop. So just keeping it a buck. I definitely think that. I mean, I still want to do gaming streams, but that's what sucks. I don't have a graphics card right now. And I really want to stream like when the new Fallout and the new oh, thank you, Crazy Dad. I appreciate you. Um, when the new Grand Theft Auto comes out, like later this year, like I hope to have a graphics card. Uh, I'll do some gaming streams. I promise I'm not quitting streaming. But my debate style content is my content now. So that is kind of some news that I need to share. Uh, News for people with a job will be going recorded, and Twitch might become mostly gaming streams. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'd go back to. I mean, that was never that successful though. I mean, me just hopping on here and gaming, never that successful. I had long eras of that. Those are like 3 viewer peaks. Again, that's not the end all be all, but how many people find that content entertaining is a good metric for like, you know, how attractive it is to an audience. Like, overall, like long term, what I should focus on, what I should put my efforts and energies into. Alrighty. I think that's all I got. Um, I don't know what's going on with schedule. Stay tuned to the Discord for updates. Um, as always, you can find all of my content at jamiedelphine.com. All my links are in the bio. And check out the deals page. Click some links. I've got nothing but good companies like Razer and Logitech and Zinni if you need glasses. Stone Street Coffee. Clear Audio has a bunch of really like high-end like audio um like devices and stuff, and high-end headphones. Oh, and Big Fudge Vinyl. If you have records, they sell like premium sleeves and record cleaning products. So if you need stuff, check out the deals link. Be a good way to help support the stream. Sort of on the side, I get paid. If you buy stuff, I get paid. That's what those links are. Those are affiliate links. So stay tuned. Keep an eye on the Discord. I'm in my head, very obviously. But sometimes you gotta be. But thank you so much. Um, no raid today. Looks like we're kind of low. Unless some folks want to wake up, we'll raid out. Yeah, I got this. I'll prevail. I'm just kind of bummed because like I was having an issue with the org that I was at, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave and find a new org. And now I can't find an org. And I am running out of savings, and now it's like I was making pretty good money off the stream last year, and I was like, maybe if I lean in, maybe this will be my job. And I feel like I gave it a really good go, especially given all of the external circumstances that I have going on with like, I don't know, the job search and ADHD, which now I've got that in check. I wouldn't say in check. Like it's still a day-to-day struggle. Like it's a tug of war because I still have ADHD, but I've got tons of structure to like out strategize myself, outmaneuver myself. Bleh. Thanks for being here. I'm Jamie Delphine. This was a news for people with a job plus a big giant personal update. Thanks for being here. Stay on the lookout for schedule announcements. I'll see y'all. Don't let the bastards grind you down. See ya.